Craggy cliffs and tea fields are the dominant feature of Turkey's Black Sea coast. They stretch from the Georgian border west to the town of Rize, Turkey's tea capital. Rize was the first city to produce tea in Turkey over 80 years ago. These days, the tea economy is worth millions of dollars, employing up to 1 million people, making it an important part of the Turkish economy.
Üretilen müstahsiller tarafından, yani çiftler tarafından, çay tarımıyla uğraşan çiftler tarafından üreticilerin çaylarının yaprakları.
Çaykur doesn't own land. It belongs to the producers and we buy tea leaves from them. The tea production area in Turkey starts from the Georgia border and reaches until the town of Perşembe in Ordu. The production area is 776,000 dekar. Therefore, we have production in Artvin, Rize, Trabzon, and even in parts of Ordu. At Çaykur, we buy tea leaves daily from 202,000 families who have tea production licenses. Each family consists of 5 people generally. This is an average, of course. So we can then say that there are at least 1 million people working in the tea production business.
Bu da genelde 1 milyon insanımız çay tarımıyla işgal ediyor.
This production area stretches thousands of meters above sea level and encompasses hidden villages where tea farming is passed from generation to generation. It's a world untouched by development.
Bu arası kardeş payı yarısı.
This land is shared by brothers. Half of it is ours. It belonged to my father-in-law, and before that it was his grandfather's. It's the land of our family. It will be passed to my children if they take care of it, and they will continue our work. A quota system is used in Turkey to ensure that each licensed tea farmer gets a fair price for their tea, but private tea companies take advantage of the quota system.
Kotası dolan zaten özele vermeye mecburdur yani. Yani
once you meet your quota, you have no option but to sell to the private sector. I must sell my tea to the private sector. What else can I do? Companies like Fidan want only the good quality tea, and if it's not at that quality, we don't get paid. So when we give it to the private sector, there is always a risk that we won't get paid. Sometimes we receive our money 2 or 3 years later.
Tea is fundamental to Turkish social life. In every village, town and city, tea is the staple of everyday life. Chai is the regular call by vendors who are always on hand to serve a weary traveller or an important guest. Life just wouldn't be Turkish without it.
Günde işte 20-25 tane çay içiyorum. Ondan sonra bizim buranın çayları
I drink at least 25 teas a day. Here they use Rize chai and mixed chai. And of course the taste of tea is more delicious. I drink it light. That's probably why I drink 25.
Turks like to drink from a tulip-shaped glass. Though the origins of this shape are not known, the clear glass allows the drinker to appreciate the crimson colour of the tea. The tea glass is so important in Turkish life, it's used as a measurement in recipes. Turks have one of the highest per capita tea consumption worldwide, and today Turkey is the world's 5th largest tea producer, behind India, China, Kenya and Sri Lanka.
Bilindiği üzere dünyada 30'a yakın ülkede çay üretimi yapılmakta.
Currently there are nearly 30 countries producing tea in the world, mostly along the equator or close to it. For example, Kenya and Tanzania in Africa, India, Sri Lanka, southern China, Indonesia, Japan, and South America. Along the equator, there are tea plantation and production areas. In the northern hemisphere, Turkey produces tea in the eastern Black Sea area. Presently, over 200,000 tons of dried tea is produced in Turkey, making us the 5th largest producer in the world.
Turkey's tea industry went through a crisis after the Chernobyl disaster. Radioactive rain drifted along Turkey's Black Sea coast. Today, the area is constantly regulated by the Atomic Energy Association and has been approved as safe from radioactivity. But environmentalists say that government plans to build a nuclear reactor in the small fishing village of Sinop could threaten the country's tea economy.
Normalde bir nükleer santral, bir reaktör normal çalışma sırasında doğaya radyoaktif gazlar salar.
Normally, a nuclear plant emits radioactive gas. Generally during operation, if a problem occurs, in the simplest way, radioactive emissions can be spread to local water sources. Also, radioactive isotopes can be spread with the wind, and you don't know which direction this will go. For example, it happened in Chernobyl, which is thousands of kilometers north of here, yet it affected our tea and nut production. I remember that time. Nuts were one of our biggest exports, and they were returned. And these nuts were distributed to our school children, and they were also given to the soldiers. And if you consume radioactive contaminated goods, then cancer won't appear for at least 20 years. For example, in 2006, there was a boom in the number of cancer cases in Turkey. There are no statistics about this, but if you go to the Black Sea today, you will encounter 1 or 2 cancer cases in every house.
Tea gardens will remain an important part of Turkey's tea culture and economy, bustling, noisy places, unlike the tea fields of Rize, where it all began.